How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, letting you guys know what the heck is going on this weekend. Today is, what is it, Saturday? Or not Monday. I always want to think it's Monday because it is. That's right, it is the first of the month, and we got a pretty big weekend we're going into. Today on the 1st, no fools, this ain't no joke. Venus hits 0 degrees Aries and then hits 29 degrees Pisces this weekend. This whole Venus retrograde, and as I was saying earlier, when Venus went behind the sun, it was starting to kind of get real. Like, okay, what we're really looking at what we value here. We're really looking at like what we really love and what we really want to put our hearts into. What's going to make us feel more fulfilled? What's going to make us more in alignment with what we're doing and who we are. And as it hits that 0 degrees Aries point and moves over to 29 degrees Pisces, which will be on Monday, actually, it'll be in that 0 degree mark for 2 days. That's going to be that sort of a standstill of, okay, where are we really going with all of this? What are we really going to do? How much deeper do I have to look? You know, how much more do I have to feel? And as it goes into Pisces on Monday, this is going to be that emotional tie into it. With Venus and Aries, it was really like more passion oriented and more I guess more driven for like an answer rather than like really feeling with. And with this Venus retrograde, it was like right as it went behind the sun a couple days ago, that's when it really started getting a little bit more emotional. And as it hits Pisces, this is when it's going to be that emotional realization. This is when you're going to have to feel it and experience this feeling and this emotion that you'll be getting from it. The whole, you know, what is true to me? What's true for me right now too? And this isn't, you know, this Venus retrograde is really interesting because it's kind of like resetting our heart's desires for more of an alignment with what we're supposed to be doing. And when I say what we're supposed to be doing, I mean what we truly want to do, and however, you know, come up with excuses and reasons why we can't, and, you know, let society kind of judge us on that. And with this Venus and Pisces, it's going to be what's true for me right now. Like, since the last Venus retrograde, which was July of 2015 till now, kind of going into that time zone, you know, you could have definitely put your, you know, direction into one place and moved it somewhere else, and or came from one space and then moved it somewhere else from that time. It was like from July to October was when the retrograde happened, and then it went out of shadow. And this is kind of doing that same thing again, but with Aries and Pisces. It's really letting go, tapping into intuition and rebirth. You know, I don't want to say rebirth is more Scorpio energy. However, with this back and forth stuff that we've been going through for the past couple weeks with the whole Pisces Aries thing, this is a rebirth. This is a fresh start. This is moving forward, and that's when Venus goes Venus goes direct later on in April. However, this weekend's going to start with a bang. We've had the moon void, of course. When the moon's void, of course, it's kind of like you can't tap into anything. Like, it's not there for some reason. You feel like the energy and the push to go do it is, or the push to feel it, experience it, to tap into your intuition. It's like it's really hit and miss. The moon's not really doing anything. It's just kind of just sitting there. And I always look at it as a really good time to really reflect on the reality of things, rather than, you know, sometimes you could get really all caught up into what's going on and you're like, whoa, you're just kind of riding the roller coaster. It's kind of like a quick pause real quick. And then at like, I think it's like 9:30 Mountain Central Time is when the moon will start. It'll go out of void, of course. It'll start sextiling the sun, and it'll start trining Jupiter. It'll be squaring Neptune, so you're gonna have to have a clear picture of what you want. You're gonna have to have a clear picture of what you are really looking for, especially with the moon in Gemini. The moon is sextiling the sun. This is time to put an emphasis to all of this new Aries energy. It's time to put the more, I don't want to say like mundane realities of things, but the really simple building blocks of whatever it is that you are creating. This is creation time, even though it's a lot of transformation time, really. This week's been pretty crazy. This whole time period since 2017 started, and the eclipses, it's been pretty wild. Anyway, as the moon goes into Gemini, it's time to look at, the big picture. It's time to, get down into the detail, not the detail of like the finer things like that Virgo energy, but like really laying it all out on the table, being able to understand it all, and being able to move forward with things, bringing a light to what you want to, for one, build, and for one, how you want to feel. And even though this is going to be squaring Neptune, we can't have that illusion over it. We can't be unclear. Like, this is the time to be very clear, very concise, to move forward. That's how the first is going to look like. It's going to be a really interesting day, kind of like a eye of the storm, I would say. Not necessarily like things are going to get super bad, but Mercury's going retrograde. We got Saturn retrograde. We're going to have all these planets retrograde. It's going to get a little intense. And then going into Sunday is when we're going to start building for this grand cardinal cross we got going on. The moon will start going into Cancer. It'll be opposing Saturn, and it will be squaring Venus, and Venus will be squaring Saturn. We'll have a nice little T-square going into Sunday. That's when it's going to be a look at, okay, where you want to go and where you want to push yourself. Are you really emotionally relating to that? Are you really putting the belief behind it and putting the intuition? With Saturn in Sagittarius right here at that 27 degrees, it's like we're really looking at what our limits are. What do we want? How far can we take it? We're going places. We got to figure out where to go. And with this moon in Gemini opposing Saturn, it's going to be like okay, where do I go? What are my options? And this is going to be, they're both going to be squaring Venus. This is going to be a lot of that Venus retrograde stuff about, what is it that you want? What is it that you love to do? What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you just are able to wake up and chase it all day long? And this is going to be squaring Saturn, squaring Moon. So you got to get that emotional balance of, this is a push for me. This is breaking my limits. I'm able to understand it. I'm able to understand what I'm going through, and it's because this is what I want. This is because this is what I enjoy. And as the moon also opposes it, it's going to be a real look at, how are you getting in your own way? How are you not letting yourself experience what you need to experience? And then, yeah, Venus will still be at 0 degrees Aries. I'm not sure what time it goes into Pisces. However, on Monday, Venus goes into Pisces, Grand Cardinal cross. That's when things get really interesting. The moon will be trining Neptune, sextiling Mars, and then everything else is just chaos. So Monday, don't get too scared for Monday. It's just going to be, after what you're going to experience this weekend with this kind of a weird shift, it's going to be like, oh, things are a little bit real. We've been going through this cardinal cross thing here for a minute with the whole Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, all that energy, all that good stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit hectic and stressful. Things are still gonna be up and down like they've been as the sun gets closer and closer to Uranus, as it's opposing Jupiter. Things are still gonna be up and down, especially when it comes to working with people, especially when it comes to, like, what am I doing for myself and what am I doing for other people? What am I, what stories am I creating, and what's, the truth? What is, what do I want to do? What's the benefit of the bigger picture? A lot of balancing that out. And with the moon in Cancer, it's time to look at it through that emotional scale that we were talking about. Later on Monday, later on Monday night going into Tuesday morning, that's when the moon will start trining Venus too. This is going to be really big on getting emotional, man. Like, you're gonna feel really tense. You're gonna feel very stressed, in that you don't know which option's best for you, and that's the best option for you. It's really going to be looking deep down with that emotional state of, this is how I feel, this is what's really going on, and I need to feel comforted. I need to feel, trusted, and all that kind of stuff. And that's when you'll start to have that push, that energy drive, that focus of, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is difficult. It's not going to be easy. It's not like, oh, I made this decision, I'm ready to go. Let's just go for it. It's going to be like, I'm consciously making this, choice to do something differently. I'm consciously, doing what I have to in order to do what I want to do, in order to do what's right for me. And with this Grand Cardinal cross, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really tenseful and stressful. However, get like tap into your intuition, get connected, um, and feel your feelings, and just go from there. You have the answers to all your problems in life. This is the time to really get in touch with that part of yourself that knows all these answers, and to move forward with them. Things are still going to be a little bit intense coming up in the next couple weeks. However, this is that time where, when you set the intention of, all right, this is where I'm going, I am making this decision, I am going for it, I am looking at things through a different perspective, I'm feeling through, like I'm feeling rather than thinking, I'm tapped in, tuned in, turned on to the universal source, and we're going on the ride. We're seeing what's out there. This is going to be that, basically, that shift going into all this craziness with the Mercury retrograde and Saturn retrograde. So that's basically what's going on this weekend. So yeah, guys, if you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff at White Light Astrology. Really love you guys, love the comments. I got like 100 views on my other video, like on my latest video. Thank you guys so much. That was like amazing. I know it's really benign, but it's cool to me. Yeah, and if you guys would like to book a reading, go ahead and shoot me an email or message me on one of my social media platforms, and we'll go from there. But thank you guys so much, and have a great weekend.